There are a variety of different tools that you can get for edge banding that are going to cost a variety of different prices, $20, $30, $40 for a lot of the different edge banding tools, and you're going to end up spending more money than you really have to get the same or better results. So I'm going to show you some of the common edge banding tools, and then I'm going to show you some of the lesser common, and I'm going to give you my opinion and really promise that you can get equal to or better results with these other tools. But just to break it down, what are the common tools you'll see is, number one, this file. You'll see a lot of people use the file to create that chamfer edge to take off the excess overhang on the sides. The files oftentimes come in a set of 5, 6, 7 different files, and they're really good for a lot of different uses, so I recommend having them in the shop, but you don't have to have it. Another tool that I use that I really like, these are kind of cool, they're called Flush Cut Snips by FastCap. They are for taking off the edge overhang. So you just line them up right here and take off that edge. They're really good, they work really well. There's also another tool out there. It sits on the top and you just snap it right off and it lines it up perfectly. It's a great tool. You don't need it though. Another one, this is called a flush cut trimmer. It comes apart, you can do one side, you can do both sides simultaneously. This is a really fun tool to use, but I will recommend this only with caution because this works really well until it doesn't, because it can dig into the side and cause a real problem. So just use these with caution. They're the specific tool, but I feel like there's a better way to do it. I'm going to show you that later. This is just a roller. I got this roller when I was installing carpet in a mini pickup truck, and I use it for edge banding, and it's great for getting the air bubbles out. You can get what they call J rollers, and they're really cheap and very effective. They even have like a rubbery, this is more plastic hard, but they come in there more soft and rubbery. They're a great tool for getting the air bubbles out when you put edge banding on. I have this sanding mouse, which I use for a lot of different things, and I recommend it just having it in the shop. And it's good for smoothing off the edges on the sides as well as on the ends. But you don't absolutely need it to get it done the cheapest way possible. You can get an iron from Wood River with an LCD display that is like 70 bucks. And I don't know why you need it, but it's cool. It costs a lot of money that you don't need to spend. It gets hot like any other iron, so you can get it if you want, but I don't think you really need it. I'm going to show you some of the basic tools that I have that I can use to get better or equal to results. Let's go over these basics. This is an iron. I want you to pay attention to the surface area here. The one from Wood River, or these craft irons that you can use, I don't know what the specs are, but just looking at the pictures, the surface area of this iron covers a lot more than those expensive ones. And this costs $20 at Walmart. It's an Even Steam by Black & Decker. I don't know why you would need to spend 70 bucks on a really fancy iron when you can get one of these and it does the same thing. So cheap iron, that's what I recommend. Second tool, an X-Acto knife. Utility knife, straight edge razor with a new blade. These things are pretty darn cheap. You'd be surprised what this little tool can do when it comes to edge banding. Third tool I want to show you. Now this is what is referred to as a block of wood.
Boom, knew it.
Sanding paper, and there you go. You got yourself a sanding block. You can adhere this with CA glue, super glue, staple gun, whatever you like, or just hold on to it like this. You can just hold on to it. So this is it. These are the basic tools that I'm going to show you. Now wait until the end, because I'm going to also show you a very unconventional tool, and we'll see what kind of results we get. Do a little bit of an experiment. So stick around for that. But right now, we're going to use these tools right here to perform some edge banding. Okay, I have a 2-ply, so I got 2 3/4 inch pieces of plywood glued together, and I have 2-inch edge banding. I'm using 2-inch edge banding with these 2 pieces basically because I have it on hand, and I think it's a really good example because it'll have plenty of overhang and be able to visually see what's going on. So I'm going to size it up We're gonna leave a little bit of an overhang. Snap that off. There we go. We want at least a 1/2 inch usually on both sides. Now with our $20 iron, we'll just set no clamps or nothing, although clamps would be good, but I'm doing this basic. Basically, you want to feel for both sides to make sure there's an overhang. The glue melts pretty darn fast. So we'll just give a little bit of pressure there. Get it all the way through. All right, so you can do this for $70 or you can do this for $20. That should be enough. Now with your J-roller or block of wood, which does the same exact thing, we're gonna go along the edges as well. We're gonna wait 10 minutes for this to fully dry before we even touch it, so I'll be back. All right, it's been 10 minutes, so we're gonna check for adhesion by tapping, looking for the high-pitched sounds. Looks like we have consistency and pitch, so we know we have good adhesion all around. Now I'm going to show you what I call the upside down method. Pretty fancy, huh? All right. So we're going to take off the ends first, and instead of starting over here, we're going to start right here at the corner and just applying light pressure. Score it and go back one more time. All right, and we're going to come from this end. And that just breaks right off. And that is a pretty darn good edge. Let's go to the other side. That is a really nice edge. Now let's go for the sides here. Now remember, we're applying light pressure. That was really light pressure, and I think we just pretty much took off the whole thing, so we didn't even have to go twice. That's how sharp that is, and that is it's pretty darn flush. I mean, there's a little bit of a lip here, but this one was right on. Let's try the other side. And that just comes right off. And once again, that is a really good line. Okay, with that done, we're going to take our sanding block and soften up those edges. Oh, doesn't get much better than that. And I'm using 220 grit doing this, just 220. I don't really go any lower than that. I don't think you get much better than that. That is pretty much perfect. Same as the other side. I am loving these results. And that's all with basic, cheap tools. Let's try something a little unorthodox, an experiment, if you will. I've been teaching you how to do edge banding with no specific edge banding tools, just stuff you probably have in your shop already. But I got this bad boy right here. This is a Gorilla Grip pizza cutter. that I got off of Amazon, never been used, fresh out of the box. I'm gonna see if I can use this to do edge banding. Now, I have my doubts. It's not as sharp as the razor blades, but for a pizza cutter, it's pretty sharp, and it's been advertised as pretty sharp, and people like it. The reviews are good for cutting pizza, but I couldn't find any reviews on Amazon about cutting wood, which is not surprising. So I say, let's see how this goes. Attempt number 1 to trim off this edge. We have a bevel that's on the inside because I'm cutting from this side. Light pressure. Now I kind of knew that wasn't going to work because I wasn't putting hardly pressure at all, but we're going to put some extra pressure now. That's pretty good pressure, but I don't think I cut through. It did mark up the glue a little bit, but let's apply even more pressure. That's pretty good pressure. I don't think we're penetrating it, and that's across the grain. Let me try with a lot of pressure. I'm gonna stand up for this one. Now that's a lot of pressure, and I don't think I got into it at all. But that's going across the grain. What about with the grain? All right, trial number 2. We're going along the grain. Here we go. Light pressure. Oh my goodness, that is night and day. Look at that. That is with going along the grain. Not as surprising though. Finish that off. Woo, look at that. Now what kind of edge do we get? Not too shabby. There's a little bit of a lip here, but this was right up against it. Let's try the other side. The pizza cutter may not be the go-to tool for edge banding, but in a pinch, it'll get at least half the job done. So for $8, I'm sure it cuts great pizza and some of your edge banding. I have another edge banding video right here you will not want to miss. It's the 3rd video of this edge banding series, so go ahead and watch it. I'll leave links in the description for all the things you saw on this video. If you want them, pick them up, support the channel. Thanks for watching. See ya!